Today we are ranking 7 push gaming slots from best to worst, and this list focuses on titles from the catalog that deserve more attention than they usually get. No Razor Shark, no Big Bamboo, no Jammin' Jars. Those games have been covered extensively, and if you have spent any time in online casinos, you already know what they are. This ranking is about the rest of the push gaming catalog, the titles that sit alongside those flagship games and often outperform them in specific ways, whether that is the maximum win ceiling, the RTP, the mechanical design, or the session character. Here is the honest breakdown. Number 1. Razor Returns, the highest ceiling in the push gaming catalog. Razor Returns is the best push gaming slot on this list, and the one that most players in the flagship title's shadow have not fully explored. The reason it sits at number 1 is the maximum win ceiling, 100,000 times your stake. That is the highest maximum win of any push gaming slot available, double the 50,000 times ceiling of Razor Shark and Big Bamboo. The 96.55% RTP is solid, and the Razor Reveal mechanic, where golden shark symbols trigger a reveal sequence of instant prizes, multipliers, collectors, and symbols, carries over from the original Razor Shark formula with additional layering. The mystery stacks in the base game build stacks of hidden symbols across the reels, keeping base game spins more visually active than most high volatility slots, where the base game is essentially dead time between bonus events. The push bet feature is the most distinctive element. Activating it significantly increases the RTP and the probability of hitting the top prize in exchange for a higher per spin cost. For players who specifically want to work at the upper end of the push gaming win potential, Razor Returns is the correct game. Not the original Razor Shark, not Big Bamboo. Tip: the push bet feature in Razor Returns increases the stated RTP and lifts the probability of triggering the top bonus events. If your session is specifically targeting a large single result rather than session length, activating push bet is the correct setting. It concentrates the mathematical potential of the game into fewer, higher impact rounds. If session length matters more than ceiling, standard play without push bet is the stable approach. Number 2. Fat Drac, best push gaming slot for feature variety. Fat Drac earns second position as the push gaming slot with the most feature variety in a single title. The 96.57% RTP is the highest of the Fat series slots on this list. The 50,000 times maximum win matches the original Razor Shark's ceiling. What makes Fat Drac distinct within push gaming's catalog is the 5x5 grid, which is larger than the standard 5x4 layout most push gaming titles use and creates more symbol positions per spin. The instant win prize bubbles that appear during play add a base game layer of unpredictable value. Prize bubbles can appear on any spin and reveal instant cash amounts without needing a specific winning combination to trigger them. The Pick a Prize bonus round offers direct player interaction where you select from prize options, a mechanic that is rare in push gaming's predominantly auto-resolved bonus structures. The Free Spins bonus features walking, expanding wilds that move across the 5x5 grid with each spin, covering more of the grid the longer the feature runs. Tip: Fat Drac's walking wilds and free spins become more powerful as the feature progresses because each wild expands before it walks, covering more symbol positions with each step. Wilds that enter the feature early have more steps remaining and cover more ground than wilds that appear in the final spins. Understanding this means the early feature wild placements are the ones to watch most closely for grid coverage potential. Number 3. Wild Swarm. 2. Best RTP in this ranking. Wild Swarm 2 earns third position primarily through its RTP of 96.67%, the highest of any game on this ranked list, and through the most mechanically layered Bee and Hive format push gaming has produced. The 10,000 times maximum win ceiling is lower than the top 2 titles, but the Honey Drip feature, which can activate randomly during base game play and cover entire reels with sticky wilds, makes the base game far more active than a pure high volatility title, where nothing of note happens outside the bonus. The Free Spins, Trigger Converts, 3 Hive, scatters into sticky, wild positions on reels 2 and 4, which carry 2 times and 4 times multiplier values respectively, meaning the multiplied wilds are present from the first free spin rather than building toward the end of the feature. The Swarm Mode bonus activated when the hive meter fills to level 5, starts with 10 free spins and reel multipliers above each reel that can compound significantly across the feature's duration. The sequence, Random Honey Drip, in the base game feeding into free spins with multiplied Sticky Wilds feeding into swarm mode, reel multipliers, creates a 3-stage escalation structure that is the most mechanically complete experience in the B series. Tip: Wild Swarm 2's Honey Drip feature can activate during any base game spin and creates sticky, wild coverage across full reels. If Honey Drip fires near a hive scatter trigger, the Sticky Wilds are active during the scatter evaluation, which can increase the visible scatter count and contribute to the free spins trigger. Tracking how close the hive meter is to a level threshold when Honey Drip activates gives you a read on whether the base game is building toward a compounding sequence. Number 4. Blaze of Ra, best push gaming slot for Egyptian-themed play. Blaze of Ra is Push Gaming's Egyptian mythology slot and the most traditional format title on this ranking, running a 5x4 grid across 40 pay lines rather than the cluster pays or ways to win mechanics of the rest of the catalog. The nudging Ra Wild mechanic is the game's signature feature. When Ra Wild symbols land in the top 2 positions of any reel, the entire reel nudges downward, keeping Ra in position and creating a second evaluation opportunity for the reels below. This means Ra Wilds that land in the top half of the reels generate more coverage than a standard wild because they bring the whole reel with them. The free spins trigger via 3 or more scarab scatter symbols, with each scarab revealing the number of spins it awards before the feature begins. During free spins, reels 1, 3, and 5 fill completely with Ra Wild symbols on every spin, which means the 3 alternating reels are always wild covered throughout the entire bonus round. Tip: During Blaze of Ra's free spins, the alternating wild reels 1, 3, 5 are fully covered on every spin, which means the win frequency is high, but the ceiling per spin is determined by the symbols landing on reels 2 and 4. A free spins round where reels 2 and 4 consistently land, the game's highest paying symbols will produce a feature total that far exceeds one where those reels land low pay symbols. The feature's output is essentially determined by what 2 reels produce across the full free spin sequence. Number 5. Fat Santa, best seasonal themed push gaming slot. Fat Santa sits 5th as the best entry in the Fat series for players who have worked through the Fat Rabbit position in the original ranking and want to know where the series goes from there. The 96.45% RTP matches Fat Rabbit exactly. The 10,223 times maximum win is essentially the same as Fat Rabbit's 10,233 times. The Santa's Sleigh mechanic is where Fat Santa establishes its own identity. The Fat Man flies over the reels in his sleigh on randomly triggered base game and free spins events, leaving pie symbols locked in place across the reels that function as wilds for the evaluated spin. The sleigh mechanic is random enough that base game spins carry genuine unpredictability. A sleigh event during a high symbol coverage spin can produce a significant unexpected result without needing the free spins bonus to fire. This gives Fat Santa more base game entertainment value than the standard push gaming high volatility format where the base game is essentially filler. It sits 5th rather than higher because the RTP and maximum win do not improve on Fat Rabbit, and the mechanical novelty of the sleigh does not outweigh the feature depth of the 3 titles above it. Tip: The Santa's sleigh activation during free spins can appear at any point in the bonus round and locks additional pie wilds onto the grid in positions they occupy for the remainder of the feature rather than for a single spin. A sleigh event in the early spins of a free spins round is more valuable than one in the final spin because the locked wilds remain active across more evaluated spins. Sleigh events at the start of a feature round create a fundamentally different floor for the feature's total output. Number 6. Fat Banker, steadiest push gaming session in the Fat series. Fat Banker occupies 6th position as the Fat series title that deliberately trades volatility for session consistency. The RTP in its best configuration available at certain casinos is 96.31%, with a base configuration of 94.21%. This is the widest RTP range across configurations of any title on this list, and confirming which RTP version your casino runs before playing is essential. The gameplay design is described as steadier than the rest of the FAT series, which means wins arrive more frequently in the base game and the session swings are narrower. For players who find the extreme volatility of razor returns or the 5x5 grid complexity of FAT Drac demanding on their session bankroll, FAT Banker is Push Gaming's answer. The same FAT series visual identity and character design in a more manageable mathematical structure. It sits sixth because the lower maximum win ceiling and the lower base RTP configuration place it below the titles above it for players evaluating the catalog on ceiling in mathematical terms. Tip: always check the published RTP for FAT Banker at the specific casino you're playing on. The difference between the 94.21% base configuration and the 96.31% alternative configuration is significant enough to change the game's mathematical profile meaningfully. If the casino's published RTP for FAT Banker is below 96%, consider moving to a different Push Gaming title from this list, where the RTP is clearly above 96% across all configurations. Number 7. Wild Swarm. Best entry point to the Push Gaming B Series. Wild Swarm, the original in the series, lands 7th as the foundational Push Gaming B and Hive title, and the correct starting point before Wild Swarm 2. The 97.03% RTP is the highest of any Push Gaming slot in the entire catalog, higher than any other game on this ranked list. The 3,100 times maximum win ceiling is the lowest here, which reflects the lower volatility profile compared to every title above it. The Swarm Mode feature activates when bees collected in the Hive meter reach the threshold, releasing a swarm of bee wilds across the reels. The session character is the most consistent on this list. Frequent base game engagement from the Hive meter filling, Swarm Mode triggering more regularly than the bonus events in the more volatile titles, and a win range that operates in a predictable band rather than producing extreme outcomes. Wild Swarm sits 7th, not because it is poorly designed. The 97.03% RTP is extraordinary, but because the lower maximum win ceiling places it below every other title on this list, for players who are choosing Push Gaming specifically for its high ceiling potential. For players who want the best possible RTP with a Push Gaming game and are comfortable with a lower ceiling, Wild Swarm belongs at the top of their session selection list.